Russia, the largest country in the world by land area, has a diverse and vast geography that stretches across Europe and Asia. While the sheer scale and diversity of its landscapes are impressive, the country's geography is often seen as a challenge, even a terrible one due to several reasons. From its climate to its geography, Russia faces unique obstacles that have influenced its history, economy, and overall development. Let's explore the geographic factors that contribute to the challenges Russia faces. Across the sprawling expanse of Russia, from the windswept plains of the steppes to the frozen wastelands of Siberia, one encounters a climate of extremes. Harsh winters grip the land for much of the year, with temperatures plummeting to levels that would challenge even the hardiest of creatures. These are not simply cold spells, but a relentless force of nature that shapes every aspect of life. The grip of winter is not easily broken. Permafrost, a layer of permanently frozen soil, covers vast swathes of the country, particularly in the north. This frozen barrier hinders infrastructure development, making the construction of roads, buildings, and pipelines a costly and challenging endeavor. It's a constant reminder of nature's power, limiting human ambition with its icy grip. And as if the long winters weren't enough, the brief respite of summer brings its own set of challenges. The growing season, the precious window for agriculture, is painfully short. Crops must be sown and harvested with a speed and efficiency unknown in more temperate climates. It's a race against time, a struggle against the elements, to secure sustenance before the inevitable return of winter's icy grip. The Russian people throughout their history have learned to adapt and endure in this unforgiving environment. They have developed techniques for survival, for building, for farming, that are as ingenious as they are essential. Yet the climate remains a formidable force, a constant challenge that shapes the very fabric of life in this vast and enigmatic land. Russia's immense size, while a source of national pride, presents a unique set of challenges. It's a land where distances are measured not in miles, but in time zones. 11 of them, to be precise, stretching from the Baltic Sea in the west to the Bering Strait in the east. This vastness, while impressive, creates an inherent isolation, a sense of being a world unto itself. The lack of natural borders, save for the oceans that embrace its northern and eastern frontiers, has historically made Russia vulnerable to invasion. Wide open plains and vast steppes have provided corridors for armies to march through the centuries. The very landscape that defines Russia's vastness has also been the stage for its struggles for security. This challenge is compounded by the often difficult terrain. From the soaring peaks of the Caucasus Mountains to the dense forests of Siberia, Russia's interior presents formidable obstacles to infrastructure development. Building and maintaining roads, railways, and pipelines across this vast and varied landscape is a Herculean task, one that has tested the limits of engineering and human endeavor. The result is a country that, despite its size and potential, often struggles to connect with the outside world. Transportation costs are high, communication networks can be unreliable, and access to global markets is often limited. The sheer scale of Russia's geography, while awe-inspiring, is a constant reminder of the challenges of bridging distance and connecting a nation. Russia's long and often tumultuous history has been deeply intertwined with its quest for access to warm water ports. This strategic imperative, driven by the need for year-round maritime trade and naval power, has shaped its foreign policy and led it into conflicts both near and far. The Arctic Ocean, while bordering Russia's vast northern coastline, offers limited strategic value. Its icy grip, even during the brief summer months, makes it treacherous for navigation. The Northern Sea Route, a shipping lane that traverses the Arctic Ocean, remains a risky and unpredictable passage, despite Russia's efforts to develop it. The Black Sea, with its access to the Mediterranean, has long been a strategic prize for Russia. However, this access is controlled by the narrow Turkish Straits. a geopolitical choke point that has been a source of tension for centuries. Russia's historical rivalry with Turkey, as well as the presence of NATO forces in the region, continue to complicate its access to this vital waterway. The Bering Strait, separating Russia from Alaska, offers another potential gateway to the Pacific Ocean. However, this narrow passage is icebound for much of the year, and its remoteness limits its strategic value. Russia's efforts to develop its Far Eastern ports, such as Vladivostok, are hampered by the region's distance from its industrial heartland. Chapter 4: Siberia, the Sleeping Giant. Siberia, a vast and enigmatic land that stretches across northern Asia, is both a source of immense natural resources and a region of formidable geographic challenges. Its sheer scale is staggering, encompassing over half of Russia's landmass, yet its population density remains remarkably low. The challenges of Siberia are immediately apparent in its remote location. Thousands of miles from Russia's western heartland, connected by tenuous transportation links, Siberia can feel like a world apart. Its vast forests, sprawling plains and towering mountain ranges, while breathtaking in their beauty, present formidable obstacles to development. Sparsely populated, with settlements scattered across its vast expanse, Siberia's human presence feels dwarfed by the sheer scale of its natural environment. Life in this unforgiving land demands resilience, a deep connection to the rhythms of nature, and a willingness to adapt to extreme conditions. Natural disasters, from devastating forest fires to widespread flooding, pose a constant threat to life and infrastructure in Siberia. The region's vulnerability to climate change is increasingly evident, with melting permafrost, more frequent heat waves, and unpredictable weather patterns adding to the challenges faced by its inhabitants. Chapter 5: Living on the Edge. Geopolitical realities. Russia's extensive land borders, stretching over 20,000 kilometers and encompassing 14 countries, have been both a source of its strength and a source of enduring geopolitical tensions. This vast frontier, a meeting point of cultures and civilizations, has witnessed centuries of conflict, migration and exchange. The collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991, while a watershed moment in Russian history, also brought about new geopolitical challenges. The emergence of independent states along Russia's borders, many grappling with internal instability and ethnic conflicts, created a volatile security environment. Russia's annexation of Crimea in 2014 and its subsequent involvement in the conflict in eastern Ukraine have further strained relations with its neighbors and the West. These events highlight the complex geopolitical realities of Russia's border regions, where historical grievances, ethnic tensions, and strategic rivalries continue to shape the political landscape. The presence of NATO troops in Eastern Europe, a legacy of the Cold War, is viewed with suspicion by Russia, which sees it as a threat to its security interests. This mutual mistrust, fueled by historical grievances and contemporary geopolitical competition, has created a climate of uncertainty and tension along Russia's western borders. Chapter 6: A fragile environment under pressure. Russia's vast natural resources, from its immense forests and fertile farmlands to its vast reserves of oil, natural gas and minerals, have been both a blessing and a curse. While they have fueled its economic development and provided for its people, their extraction and exploitation have also taken a heavy toll on the environment. Pollution from industrial emissions, agricultural runoff, and poorly managed waste disposal has contaminated rivers, lakes, and vast tracts of land across Russia. The legacy of Soviet-era industrialization, with its emphasis on production over environmental protection, continues to haunt many regions. Deforestation, driven by logging, mining, and agricultural expansion, has stripped millions of acres of Russia's once vast forests. This loss of forest cover not only threatens biodiversity and disrupts ecosystems, but also contributes to climate change by reducing the planet's capacity to absorb carbon dioxide. Oil spills, a recurring problem in Russia's oil-rich regions, have devastated ecosystems and caused long-term environmental damage. The most infamous example, the 1989 Exxon Valdez oil spill, polluted thousands of miles of coastline and had a catastrophic impact on marine life. Outro, Russia's geographic paradox. Russia's geography is both a blessing and a curse. Its vast size, resource wealth, and strategic importance are undeniable, but these advantages come with significant challenges. From its extreme climate and inhospitable terrain to its geopolitical conflicts and limited access to warm water ports, Russia's geography has shaped its history and continues to define its future. While the country's geography may be terrible in many ways, it is also a testament to the resilience of the Russian people and their ability to adapt to one of the harshest environments on Earth.